Good morning, Steph here. I hope you're keeping well. So I'm here today for the Friday mindfulness session, and today I'm going to be talking about learning to trust your practice and what comes out of your practice. So I've been following the 7 mindful attitudes as described by Jon Kabat-Zinn, and we've covered non-judging, patience, and beginner's mind. So today we're going to be talking about trust. I'm just going to read you a quote from Jon Kabat-Zinn about developing a basic trust in yourself in relation to your meditation. It is far better to trust in your intuition and your own authority, even if you make some mistakes along the way. It's better to do this than to look outside of yourself for guidance. And this is really an interesting one for me. I found it's helped me to build a bit more of more confidence around how I relate to meditation, and trusting my own experience and my own intuition has been an important way of taking the lessons that I'm learned from mindfulness forward, and it's led me to have a bit more faith in using mindfulness when I've needed it. Okay, I've written a few things down. So, yeah. And I think that as you practice mindfulness, you do learn to relate yourself in a different way. And partly this then allows you to find a way of understanding what's happening, which is not so much relating to your thoughts or judgments and knowing which ones you believe or not, because actually in mindfulness we're sort of putting them to one side, not dismissing them, but just when you're working with those, you're not fully engaging with them, you're just noticing it as thinking and putting it one side. And then that allows something to happen to how you relate to what does come up in your direct experience. So being fully present, letting go of judgments intentionally, and doing this time after time after time can allow you to tune in to perhaps more of the wisdom of your body and of your mind, allowing yourself to really feel what is important and genuine. And when we tune into that whole experience, our integrated experience of our body and mind, we're sort of working with what is presence, and we're learning to trust that it's okay to be with what's present, whatever that is. It might be feelings, emotions, sadness, pain even. And we're finding a way of relating to that in a different way, other than just pushing it away or trying to make it different. We're having a little bit more trust that we can be fully, bit more present with that. Yeah, there's real wisdom in allowing us to work with what's here, acknowledging it. What I've found is it's allowed me to be more fully myself. And as much as I get exasperated by myself at times, I think also it's allowed me to engage with all of me. In a way which allows me to accept myself a little bit more. And as I recognise that I don't actually have to find what I feel from outside of myself, then the more I'm relating to what's going on here now, allows me to engage with my environment much more authentically, because I'm being true to myself. Yeah. So it sort of allows myself to be more fully integrated with not only what's going on inside, but also with how I'm relating to others. Yeah. And working this as a muscle, working this perhaps having a bit more faith in how I engage, or how we engage with ourselves and our environment. It is like this muscle. The more that you can fully feel confident in how you're engaging moment by moment with yourself, acknowledging what's there, not trying to deny what's going on for you, but engaging it with it authentically, then this muscle and confidence of being able to work in this way grows, which also, you know, there's going to be mistakes, and you're going to make mistakes, and that's part of it. So it's almost having confidence in aligning with yourself in this way, in that you're trusting yourself to the point where it's actually okay to make mistakes, because that's also how you learn. So the trust is not just that you're going to do everything brilliantly, or you're going to be the perfect mindfulness practitioner. It's more that you're prepared to work with whatever, and that's including your mistakes and learning from them. And I've found that really helpful, owning up to my mistakes and allowing myself to be fully human, because that's what we're like. We all make mistakes, don't we? And celebrating those mistakes, which I'm quite good at actually these days. And in doing so, you sort of get a sense of which direction you do want to go in. When you've made a mistake, think, yeah, that's not quite that way. It's not the right way to go down. But actually, shines a light on which, where is the right way to go down, if you know what I mean. Anyway, let's do a little practice. So today we're just going to perhaps do, here's my my grandfather's clock, my grandfather's clock. Anyway, we'll wait for that to finish. It's a nice ring, isn't it? I don't know how you hear that actually. As this is recorded, it sounds quite nice. It might not come out the same way. So sorry about that. That was a little bit intrusive. But nevertheless, let us come to the present moment and do a little practice. For this session, I'm going to be focusing on a mindfulness of breath practice. Around 10 minutes. So giving yourself a moment or two to find a comfortable place to sit, whilst at the same time seeing if it's possible to remain in a fairly upright posture, not too far back, not too far forward, and at the same time reasonably comfortable. Now that can be sitting in a chair, fine, sitting cross-legged, or even kneeling on a little stool. The important thing is it's a position you're going to be able to be comfortable in for 10 minutes or so. So finding your posture, and also perhaps deciding whether you want to have your eyes open or your eyes closed. Either is fine. If you have your eyes open, perhaps seeing if it's possible to have a fairly unfocused gaze. Often people find 45-degree angle is quite comfortable. And so that you are able to feel relaxed in your eyes. And I found it helpful to perhaps have a sense of having your eyes open, but with a sense of relaxing from the back of your eyes. Anyway, that might be helpful, might not. Okay, so let's make a start. So finding your posture, finding your seat, perhaps just checking in with your alignment of your back, neck and head. Gently tucking your chin in, presenting the crown of your head to the ceiling. And then moving into your body, moving into where the contact of your body is to the floor, to the chair, to whatever you're sitting on. Seeing if it's possible to feel your ground. What's supporting you? Maybe you notice your feet in contact with the floor. Is it possible to move into this area and feel it, experience it? Feel the aliveness perhaps of the sensations in your feet. Tingling, warmth. And it may be you have no sensations there, and if that's the case for you, this is your experience, and that's what we're working with, our direct experience of this moment. So then perhaps moving up from your feet all the way up your legs to your sitting bones and connecting here. Really perhaps feeling the weight of your body as it's going down on the chair, whatever you're sitting on, feeling where it meets. Seeing if it's even possible to allow that grounding to sort of meet you. You meet it, it meets you. Relaxing into it. Allowing yourself to be supported by what you're sitting on. Then moving from here upwards, up your back, your spine, torso. Perhaps even allowing a sense of uplift as you move up your body. Up to your shoulders. Moving in here and sensing what's happening, sensing into your shoulders. Often a place we feel stress or tension, so seeing if it's possible just to drop your shoulders a fraction. And being with whatever sensations are there. perhaps moving now down your arms, feeling the sensations in your arms, and then moving into your hands where they're resting, being with how they're resting, perhaps having a sense of what your direct experience of your hands is right now. Is it possible to be with that? And then moving upwards once more, all the way up to your shoulders and to the place where your shoulders meets your neck. Feeling into the back of your neck. And your whole neck area, just taking that in. Feeling what's there. And moving upwards into your face, your head, your scalp. Is it possible just to be with the experience of that? Sensations that arise. No need to change anything or make anything happen. Is it possible just to be with it as it is? So now expanding your attention to take in your whole body sitting here. The weight of you as it's moving down and the height of you as it's moving upwards. Fully present here in this moment. Feeling the whole body sitting here. And so now is it possible to come to the breath and to just be with the breath. So seeing how your breath is naturally breathing. Perhaps noticing where precisely you feel the breath as it comes into your body. And then changes into an out breath and then finds its way out of your body. So really noticing those sensations that you feel, the sensations of the breath. So you may notice your breath in your nostrils. You might notice actually that the breath is cool on the in-breath. And then the temperature changes and is warm on the out-breath. So just spending a few moments noticing the breath as it's entering into your nostrils and then leaving through your nostrils. You may also be able to notice the breath with the rise and fall of the chest. Or even with the abdomen. Rises on the inhale and falls on the exhale. So choosing where you want to focus the breath. Allowing yourself to be where it feels most vivid for you. Just allowing the breath to be breathed naturally. No need to change it. Just being with it. Whether it's a long breath, allowing that to be a long breath. Or a short breath. Just allowing that to be a short breath. And you will notice thinking will arise. It's what our minds do. So as you notice this, seeing if it's possible just to Notice thinking, perhaps even saying to yourself thinking, and then gently and with kindness coming back to the present moment's experience of the breath. Coming back to this moment. However many times you find your mind has wandered into thinking, just each time bringing it back. And you will notice your mind will wander. It may wander 1,000 times, and what we're doing here is just bringing it back 1,000 times. Back to this breath. Perhaps feeling the flow of the breath, the movement of the breath as it becomes an in-breath, or as the moment it becomes an out-breath. That changing pattern of sensations of the breath, just being with it all. And each time you find your mind has wandered, you're going to come back just to this breath, to this moment. You may find yourself thinking about the breath rather than being with it. And so when you notice that, just seeing if it's possible to move into the experience of being with, nothing to do, nowhere else to be, just being in the present moment with your experience of the breath right now. And when you notice you've moved away from the present moment, just keep coming back, time and time again, back to this moment. So as we bring this practice to an end, just allow yourself to realign, perhaps coming back into the room, having a bit of a stretch as we bring this practice to an end. So, I wish you well for the rest of your day, and I'll be here again next week. Okay, thanks for coming.